vibe. I mean, I try to, I try to freestyle, but I got other talents. All right. So I hope everyone is happy to be here to our very special episode of, how we do day and night conversations. Myself, the amazing Claudel. You can find me at Claudel Comedy. You know how I do. And today I am blessed to be with the very beautiful Day. Oh, my bad. Auntie Day, apparently. Because somebody wasn't wearing a wear. All right. How you doing, Day?
I'm good.
That's good.
You're
that's
excited,
good.
I can see.
I'm always excited.
It's probably because of our guest.
I don't know. I don't
think
know.
so.
Maybe I think it has to do with the guests. I think it has to do with
you're
it.
blushing.
All right, so let's talk about that real special guest that we're having here today at Day and Night Conversations.
It's really warm in here.
It's warm. It's
You're making her hot. You see, there's a
stop!
connection.
Don't put this on me. What is up with
That's
you?
how you ended up with that baby.
Oh,
Getting your ass
I
in
know,
trouble.
right? I know. I hope you guys are doing very well. We're so happy to be here with y'all today. You know how we do. Today we're so very lucky. I mean, I consider myself lucky to be in the presence of the very talented Tenicha Gittens. Did I say it right?
Tenicha Gittens, yes.
Oh my God,
Tenicha
Gittens!
Got it on point.
Killed it.
Yeah.
I was scared of saying kittens, and you didn't like cats, and then this shit would all have been awkward. I would have been like meow and some. Anyways, so we were with the very talented Tenicha Gittens, who happens to be a basketball coach here in Montreal as well as in the U.S. of A.
Well,
I was, yeah.
Why are you down putting? Why are you putting?
Well, because I can't coach here and there at the same time.
Oh
so
my God, we are so gonna get into this. Oh my God, I'm seeing barriers. Why don't you introduce yourself, Tenicha, please?
My name is Tenicha Gittens, born and raised in Montreal, Little Burgundy. Hey. I'm currently the head women's basketball coach at Concordia University. Used to coach at 4 different schools in the U.S. I was an assistant coach there. Got my university start as a coach at McGill University, actually. So, yeah.
So
Y'all not seeing this, but my mouth is open.
You're so stupid.
Wide open.
They could see you and it's closed,
Oh.
baby. It's closed. now it's open. There we go. One step at a time.
Tanisha said she was going to help me with my dribble because she
Yeah.
don't know how bad my dribble
Not
is.
the dribble from your mouth. The one on the court.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, I don't
Two
need help with that one.
Which dribble is I can help you with the one on the court, yes.
No. I need help with that.
Oh, no.
The lips, they
That
just keep
that-
on
You're on
going
your own.
and going
Yeah,
and
that's-
going. You know, they go day and night and day and night and day and night and day. I'm gonna stop. All right, Tanisha. There's a couple of things I'd like to know.
Okay.
Well, first and foremost, how is it that you basically started? I'm guessing there's a high chance that you were playing basketball before you started being a coach. So what brought you to being the head coach at McGill? Head coach
At Concordia.
at Concordia. I was listening.
So wait a minute. The Concordia, it's the Concordia Stingers.
Yes.
So like, you're the queen of the hive.
Oh,
That's basically what they call you, right?
Hey,
I
ain't wanna
we
say it.
have another queen bee.
I ain't want to say it,
Yeah,
So pretty much
I'm
you're
trying to be a
queen
little,
bee.
All right,
you
so
know,
the
humble.
Concordia
Stay
But,
humble.
Stingers.
you know,
Love
They
it.
y'all
say
can
it's
say it
better
if you
stay
want to.
humble,
Yeah,
but
you know.
she never said no. You noticed
I
that,
know,
right?
right?
She never said
Love
no.
it.
So she knows.
Love
All right.
it. So tell us, how did you start? How all this ordeal start? How'd you get better than me at basketball?
How
God
did,
damn it.
whoa.
One
Where did
thing-
you play?
Nothing.
We won't even get.
Oh, I played 2K.
Okay, no.
2K09.
Alright,
Wait,
that
what
doesn't
do you mean by no?
We won't go into that. How
Tell
I got
us.
to Concordia University?
Basically, how you got into basketball?
For
first and
basketball.
foremost, yeah.
Honestly, I got into basketball because I used to hang out with my older cousins, and they played basketball. So I just thought they were cool. Wanted to hang out with them all the time and like spend my summers in Little Burgundy with them.
Okay, I see.
And that's what they did.
Your cousins
So-
were girls or guys?
Guys, they were guys.
All guys.
There were. I had one older cousin who was a female that played, but really was my male cousins that I looked up to, and they were cool. I was always riding with them and thought they was they were cool and stuff like that, and they were really good at basketball. And then I'm like, and it was just something that came naturally for me.
So at what age was this you're hanging out with them?
Oh man, 12, 13, 14, yeah, around then. Because I picked up basketball. Well, I started playing organized basketball pretty late on. I didn't play because our parents
What's
had us
late,
in everything.
though? Like for all of our audience listening. Like,
Well,
what's too
organized
late?
basketball, I don't think you're ever too late anything.
There's still hope, people. There's hope.
Yeah, but you're done, baby. You're done.
Yeah. I mean,
You're done.
I mean, the cardio's still here.
She might help you with the dribble, but you ain't never gonna
can
go
still
further.
dribble.
than
I'll
that.
first
teach you
session's
some.
free, but you might need a few sessions. Okay. But yeah, no. I started kind of late, but my parents didn't put us in everything. Like I did tap dance, ballet, swimming, like everything. And so we didn't specialize in any particular sport. So I think that helped me when it
Okay.
came to basketball. You know what I mean? Because different sports can add, different things, teaches different things that can help you once you do decide to specialize.
So they
that's what
say,
happened
like,
with
I
us.
know, like, for football players, they say, like, sometimes ballet helps. in
Yeah, kids'
football.
footwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, same thing for basketball,
Yep,
I guess? Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't know, I didn't know that then. My parents didn't know that either. But you see it now, like a lot of people, they're doing a lot of like a test or some, stuff like that. And they're encouraging parents not to like direct their kids or
one
specializing them into
specific-
one specific
specifically
when they're young. When you're young, you can
Holy
do like you're like a sponge, so you can do everything. And when you do decide to specialize, you take from everything that you've done in the past, and it helps you for when you do decide like, okay, I want to be a swimmer. Or, okay, I want to play basketball. I want to play football. When you think about it,
So how is it like? I don't know. I didn't grow up in Bergs, but I've heard a lot about Bergs back in the day, and I know a lot of people that grew up in Bergs.
man, Bergs was fun. I was mad when we had to move out of Bergs. Like what? I
Because
was
like Bergs is like where a lot of West Indian families
yes,
settled
West
when they first
Indian,
came to.
Scotians,
English,
West Indians.
right?
Yes, yeah,
So-
absolutely.
Of course.
It must
So
have
the
been
culture
like
was
buck wild.
fun. It was, which
It
is
was.
why our parents picked us up and said, "We going across the bridge,
to
and we out of there to Brossart." Okay, where it ain't too wild. But yeah, there was like I remember actually. The last thing I remember, kind of like probably why we moved away, is there was like a shooting like on our street. My parents were like, no.
And
At that point, they
Bergs?
had 5 of us.
And Bergs?
Yeah.
There was a shooting.
Well, Bergs is known for.
Well,
I
back
grew up in Montreal North,
Oh,
so
okay.
I don't know
Oh,
about.
you're from there.
Yeah, Little Burgundy was you're from there.
Oh, the way you
No, I'm
said
joking, I'm
it.
joking.
The way
You from
you
that
said
way.
it.
No, well, I mean, Montreal North would have been like the French version of Bergs almost.
Yeah.
Like the same type
Oh,
of
so
thing.
the only thing we had different was our languages.
Yes.
We got the
Probably.
same
True.
bullets. Great.
Yeah.
Let's
I don't
not
think
fix
we
that
were on
issue.
that level, but Berg's it was a little.
I grew up in the hood. I've been to jail like
Yeah.
twice. Anyway,
You've
that's,
not
that's,
been to
that's
jail.
You are killing my name.
You're trying to
the
get some
internet.
street cred. Watch it.
I've been to
people
jail.
Yo, you. Anyways, please, Tenicha, don't stop. You
Oh
were
my
saying.
God.
So you grew up in Bergs. It was
grew out
kinda
of the
wild, but-
hood. You moved out of the hood.
Yeah, I don't have to.
And you didn't want to leave.
No, I didn't. I did not want to leave
So
from there.
even
I was
though
very
there was,
upset.
even though there was gunshots. and all
No, but
kinda
it wasn't
rubbish.
like okay. Let me because people be like, "Ain't want no gunshots like that." When
Thank
it
you.
wasn't like that,
Okay.
like
Thank
that.
you.
But it wasn't a place that you if you had
a family.
a family, if you had the choice, if you had the means
You
to.
wouldn't want to raise them.
Yeah,
down.
my parents had. We were 5 of us at the time, and my mom was pregnant with her 6th child with my little sister.
Well, when
So-
you said there was 5 of us,
We're 6.
you were not counting the parents.
No,
Oh,
we're
they be
8 in total, so 6 kids. Yeah. No comment.
No comment, ladies and gentlemen. No comment.
But yeah, we were all very young. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
Like
can see the
really
vibe.
close in age. So yeah, they was just like, yeah, we got a boogie.
I
That's
see.
what happened.
So you left
Yeah.
you left Bergs, and there you had like your cousins. Everybody was there playing ball. You were getting influenced.
I mean, I had
by
auntie up this street on Deseigneur. I had auntie over on Saint Jacques. I had an auntie over the
So you were
Dominion.
good.
Alright, the whole
What?
family
Yeah,
was
you
there.
bop, 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 bop.
That
Like
was
yeah.
it.
You know, all your friends, like, it's what we knew. We had
Yeah.
family all around. Now we're going across the bridge. I only had my little uncle down the street.
And
I
that was it. And then the basketball
Love
scene
'em.
kind of changed on the South Shore too, right?
Yeah, but I didn't even play basketball then because I was younger. So that's when we we're t-ball. We're playing in the park across. I don't even think they have a baseball field anymore. So I lived on Quinnell.
Okay.
What is it? I think it's called Quinnell Park. I don't know if it's course. It's still So right across the street, you had the basketball courts and stuff. We had 1 court back then. Then they had it was a whole baseball field,
Okay.
and then we had 2 baseball fields actually. But we didn't I just played everything. You know what I mean? Like we would swimming lessons, ballet was up the street,
Everything was
tap
there.
dance was up the street. Everything was like we could walk up the street ourselves and go to that and just bring your ass back down on the hill to make sure. You would 1954 Cornell, you know, one time counts. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, 1954 Cornell, baby.
So then when you got to the South Shore now, you weren't just playing basketball. You just continue with all your athletic sports.
Yeah, well, because when I went there, when I got to the South Shore, I went in grade 3. I got to the South Shore.
Okay.
And
like
yeah,
8?
so I was a little black girl with attitude. Well, at least that's what they told me I had attitude.
Because everybody around you was
so
probably
I had to
white.
live up to the.
I didn't say it. I didn't say
but
it.
yeah.
Because in Bergs, you had like mostly West Indian black people.
When I tell you, that's what I grew up around.
And
Yeah.
then you
That's
went
what
to
I saw, and then I'm
Brossard.
seeing
and you
like,
went to Brassard, and I imagine, I don't know how old you
Yeah,
are,
that
but
must have hit you.
yeah, I
if
was-
we're
I
around the
was
same age, Brassard was very white.
very white,
Very.
like very white. So I
Yeah.
was like, what, man? I was like.
Damn, you must have been awesome at basketball.
where I'm
God
from?
damn it.
It's like, yo, move. I mean, attitude. Like, what? And teachers couldn't tell me nothing.
So once you moved to Brossard,
Nothing.
like, why? And especially since you had all these disciplines and all these sports, like, why basketball? Why did basketball become like your sport of choice?
Well, again, just because it's what I saw all the time on TV. Like, you know, I grew up idolizing or want to be like Michael Jordan.
Of course.
I don't want to date myself too much, but like the Clyde Drexlers and all that stuff, like that, I wanted to be like them. I thought they were nice. Like, chill out. No, I'm just like, but like I saw, you know, film of those guys and stuff like that. But you know, like like I loved basketball, and that's what I saw. I mean, my parents, we're a basketball family.
Mm-hmm.
So
Oh, that's dope.
yeah, so I grew up watching that, and you know, you see that, and you kind of want to be like that. You know what I mean?
Of course.
Which is why females, maybe we'll talk about that later, but
Oh, yes,
now
we
that
will.
women are playing sports now, like at a high level and are successful and, you know, kind of kicking down doors, it's great because representation matters so much. And it's just with me, like, why do you want to play? Well, because I saw that's what I liked. I was like, oh, that's what they're doing. Well, I want to do that. Like, I want to be the first woman to play in the NBA.
That's what you wanted when you were a child. That's what you
Yeah.
were looking at. That's what you're
That's
thinking about.
dope.
Because that's what I saw. If
Yeah.
there wasn't WNBA, then I wanted to be like, okay,
And the NBA.
that's where I want to play.
So back in your
WNBA.
when you were watching basketball, there was no WNBA.
No, the WNBA came about when I was, I think, in 7th grade. That's when it came about.
Okay.
So, but by like,
It was
it was
still
it was
weak. It
still
was-
it- yeah,
yeah.
it was
Yeah,
still
it
kind of
wasn't-
like new. You didn't see it on TV. It wasn't televised. We just
Yeah.
knew you may get a game here and there, but like, yeah, there was no representation of, you know, female basketball players.
Well, actually, there was no representation of females. Period.
Yeah, in sports. Yeah,
anything y'all
exactly.
be doing,
It's so
you know?
true.
Yes.
So the fact that they came up with the WNBA, I think it's a great effort to get like women to play against women, of course, because we could have. What do you think? How would it work if we were to have like a mix team?
Basketball team.
Yeah, well, not even just basketball. For example, I don't know.
At
if you
what
guys
level? Because I think that matters.
That's exactly, because I don't know if you guys heard about it, but Serena Williams, was it Serena? Yeah, it was Serena Williams had an interview.
Queen. Mm-hmm.
Queen, okay. And she had an interview, and they were talking about how they were saying Serena Williams wouldn't last against I forgot what tennis player, but who was a male. And they said, oh, you wouldn't be able to play against that male player, blah, 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 blah. And then she actually took the interview and mentioned, yeah, you guys are right, because the guys hit harder, the guys run faster. It's impossible.
It's a different thing.
Yeah.
no,
But
it's
listen,
absolutely
I'm a big
different.
Serena fan, but the way she played that last game, damn right she can't play against
We ain't
nobody
here-
else.
we ain't
Stop it.
here-
No, that girl was on another level though.
I can't.
Don't do
No,
Serena like
I
that.
will
No, it's
I
not
will
about Serena.
not.
It's not too much about Serena. It's just more about the way she was performing.
I will not
It's not
disrespect
personal. It's
Yeah.
professional.
Serena.
Yeah.
I can't do half,
But
a third, a
listen,
quarter of what she does.
Serena
Yeah.
is no joke.
No,
Don't
she's
get me
not.
wrong. She is no joke.
She's been greatness for like the betterment
times is
of how
moving.
exactly.
Ex-
Times
Exactly.
is moving.
At some points, like, you know, somebody was better than her until she
Yeah.
came on the scene.
That's a
so
very good
like
point.
it happens. It's just
Yeah, it's just the way it is.
But can we
Just
agree
you-
on something and not take anything away from Serena? Because what she did, everything that she did,
Yeah.
Yeah.
how she got to where she is today,
It's crazy.
yeah.
especially
Her and her
as a
sister.
woman. Thank you. You know,
Yeah.
You know what? You
Growing
said
up
it.
in
As
Compton.
a sister.
Yeah, we have to
Like,
give her
As a
props for sure.
sister, you know,
I love her.
She done killed it. I gotta.
But I don't find to
gotta
ever give
respect that.
Serena the props that she deserves.
Do you expect differently?
No, but no, I don't expect differently.
Yeah, they're not
I really
going
don't
to.
have any expectations in life at all, which
Which
I don't
is
know.
sad.
I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but I don't expect anything. The way
Right.
the way the world is these days,
No,
I feel like it's better to just sit back and watch what's next.
So you won't be
As
disappointed.
opposed to expect, like I expect things are gonna get better, or I expect they're
Then
gonna
you
get
can
worse.
get
I just wait and see.
disappointed.
That's
Yeah.
just how I am. I don't
I
like being
see.
disappointed, so I don't put my expectations anywhere. But in basketball, do you feel like it's the same discrimination as a female black coach as it is in other sports?
I mean,
Because basketball, what I'm trying to say is basically, basketball has predominantly been a sport that's been dominated by black people. I mean,
Yep, that's
we're
us.
the ones that have
Yep.
the athletes,
excelled
yes, yeah.
athlete-wise,
Right.
right?
Being tall,
Not so much as
running
the
fast.
coaches, right?
Right.
And that's the way it's been in a lot of sports or a lot of industries. It's like the top people are usually not black, but everyone doing the work, and the ones that are up front are, the entertainers, the athletes. They're the ones that are black. So do you find that not much has changed from way back then to now?
No, I think we're moving in the right direction.
Dope.
I just think it's slow, because like coaching in the U.S. There's so many talented coaches. There's so many coaches that are prepared for the opportunity if it does come about to be a head coach, to be a head assistant coach, to do these things, but they don't get the opportunity. Like our white counterparts will, you know what I
You
mean?
can say it.
And when we do get the opportunity, our leash is a lot shorter
Shorter.
Yeah.
Exactly.
than anybody
And
else.
that's
You know
pretty
what I
much in
mean?
everything in life.
Yeah, like they're the card that they judge us on is like, it's tougher. It's a lot harder than with white people. You know what I
Legit.
mean? Like, they don't have as much patience with us. It's almost like, well, we gave you a chance. Well, you didn't do what you're supposed to do.
Makes,
That's
I
it.
feel
You know
like
what I
that
mean?
make-
And
I
it's
feel like
unfortunate.
That makes no freaking sense. And I say freaking because I
Yeah.
can't say fucking. that shit. No, it makes no sense. Why is it, at the end of the day, whatever it is that you can contribute to basketball, whether you're white, yellow, purple, pink, I don't fucking care. I'm here to win.
Yeah.
And it's sad, but let's agree on something. We do have the first head assistant coach at the Cavaliers, whose name is Lindsay Gote. Yeah, this girl.
Yeah.
I mean,
From
that is
Cal,
something.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
this-
great.
it
There
is
are
great.
actually a
it
few
opens,
assistant
it
coaches.
opens doors to.
There are a few.
whole
Christy
lot of-
Tolliver, Lindsay Harding. There's a young lady who was an assistant at Ryerson,
Mhm.
who actually just got a position with the Sacramento Kings as well. So she did university basketball here as an assistant. She played in the U.S., but she got, her name escapes me right now, but she is coaching, or will get an opportunity to be in that environment and have responsibilities as
See
an
the-
assistant coach at the
exactly.
NBA level, which is great.
Exactly.
So now girls can I can one day coach in the NBA. I can get there.
Why wouldn't you be able to?
Yeah.
I mean, it's all about
Yeah.
just strategic strategy.
Mhm.
It's
Yeah.
knowing your players, knowing how to dribble.
Yeah.
Help.
Yeah.
I need your help with my dribble.
So you've done a lot of stuff. I did a little bit of homework on you.
Okay.
Seen a little bit of pictures and a little
Oh, you saw
videos.
pictures and
interviews. I
stuff?
saw all kinds of
Videos?
stuff.
They got videos on me.
Girl,
need
you
to-
need to
you need
check
to
that
Google your
Instagram
name.
up.
You are
What is
all over the
wrong
place.
with you? God
Girl,
damn it.
I
I
gotta-
seen pictures of you with cornrows.
Oh no, I gotta clean that up. Got to clean it up. Anybody got
It was
Google
for her
number?
to play. Come on. It was
So
for
you
her to
also
play.
you also played for the national squad in St. Vincent.
Oh God, you can't talk about that.
Yes, we will.
Why don't you talk about
Why
it?
wouldn't you?
I mean, we could talk about it. Let's go ahead, talk
of
about it.
course We'll talk about it.
And you were the director of women's basketball operations in LaSalle, 2010,
At
2011.
LaSalle University, yeah,
You have
in
a business
Philly.
degree and business
Administration degree from Haas University's Art School of Business. Yeah.
You've done some stuff. You've really earned, like, you are living by example. I imagine that your players know the importance of taking their game just as seriously as their academic.
Oh yeah, I stress that
Legit.
a lot. I completely believe in being an ultimate student athlete. They can't play if they don't do what they're supposed to do academically. And I don't ever want our kids to just kind of, I'm just going to skim
Ease
by.
my way through
Yeah.
it, yeah.
Then take a class here, take a class there. realistically, especially playing university basketball in Canada, the likelihood of them playing professional after they're done is very slim. Yeah. Like the
How?
percentage
But why?
is just where they're coming from.
How-
You look at there are a lot of them. There are a lot of them
I
that
know.
do go.
For example, Lugens.
Yeah, but you see, you're naming
Gens,
guys.
Gens, Daw. Oh, my bad. Okay,
Name a
my
woman,
bad.
name
Oh,
one.
That's what I'm saying.
women?
You're naming
Okay,
guys,
I'ma let
and
you
I'm
talk.
talking about from, but
I'ma
I'm
let
talking
you
about
talk.
from university here. Like Lou Gens, he didn't play university here.
No, he didn't. He played in Arizona.
Yes,
For a
yeah,
second?
yeah. So he's with the
But that's the
OKC,
thing.
the Thunder.
Exactly. He did. Oh my
But they
God.
came from
Montreal.
Montreal,
North.
yes. But then they went and they did like prep school,
From
high
TU,
school. So
the-
their
in the
development's a
States.
little different.
Okay, but why is it that in order for you to make it, even though you have the talent, you have the height, you have the skin color, why is it that like you can't grow up here in Montreal, in Canada, or whatever, and
Make it over there.
make it to the NBA from Canada? Has anyone? I'm not sure. I'm
But
just asking. Has
do you mean
has
just
anyone
like
ever
from
done it?
university playing university basketball here and
Yeah.
then going?
Getting-
You know what? I don't know why. Like nobody's ever done it. I don't think it's impossible, but it's
why?
you just
I don't
gotta.
think
It's the
Canada puts-
athlete. You know what I mean? It's the development. It's the competition that you're going up against
Mhm.
every day. Like it's a little different. You're
I don't
talking
know.
about.
Sorry,
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was just like, I don't like. They always talk about this, especially now with the Raptors winning. Like they always talk about
Thank you.
the
Canada exists.
Canada doesn't.
We're the North. I'm sorry.
LeBron James. Anyway, yeah,
That's your
did
boo,
you just-
right?
that is
I got that in my notes. You
King James.
You-
Y'all lucky.
Oh,
you describe
You guys are lucky. Listen to me.
that
y'all,
we have here, because he don't.
a lucky what? Go
Okay,
ahead.
you may not have here, but we won't talk about what he got over you. But
No, okay. Oh God, she done killed me.
No. Let her
I'm done
finish
talking.
sentence. We're lucky. What? Go on.
Oh God, all I had was the
LeBron-
hair.
y'all lucky
and she cut
LeBron
it.
James.
She cut it. She was like, "No, we don't care about no hair. I can't talk no more."
LeBron James. Y'all lucky LeBron James
uh-huh.
Is still
was
in
out
the
of
West?
the play. Exactly. Like he was in the West because y'all couldn't get past him. Talking about we the North. Get out of here. You the LeBron ain't here. That's what y'all.
Oh, that's what we
y'all
is.
Anyway, but listen, good
Say
for
what you want. We still
good for
got
the Raptors.
Thank you.
You're not
For
impressed.
Canada basketball.
You're not impressed.
No, I'll be honest with you. I didn't want them to win in the
Okay.
end. But part of it was also because I just didn't want the Warriors to get another ring
As
over
well,
LeBron.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why.
She said over LeBron.
But I
you were
was-
so right until you said over LeBron. But anyway, whatever.
Everything got real just now. Like
You
she
have
is
no
opening
idea.
up
Yo,
her water. She
we
is not
out.
trying to.
Yo, we all right. You know what?
I was
Continue.
just trying to say that I know that this is the talk a lot, especially with the Raptors winning. That like Canadians just don't invest as much in their athletes as the United States.
But we do
Absolutely.
have- we-
And
but
it's like
we
the
do
States
have
are-
a whole lot of programs though. Kids,
Yeah,
it's
kids
not
are
the-
being
at the same
sent-
caliber, I
Kids,
don't
kids are
think.
being sent to like where? How's it called?
Sun Youth.
Thetford Mines. You said Sun Youth.
You're
Did
rude.
someone say Sun
She
Youth?
said
No,
Sun
because
You're
it's true. The
wrong.
programs that we have are nothing in comparison
It's
to the.
It's a
because the
different
programs.
culture,
Yes, it
and,
is culture.
You know,
Sports in the U.S. It's a whole.
it's a culture.
It's a business. It's a
different,
culture.
yeah.
They see like dollar signs, and you could do. You know what I mean? Just watch a football game on Sunday. Like you watch on TV and you see the amount of people sitting. There's like there's
College football, anything.
yeah, any
Friday Night Lights. Like, look
sports.
at that. It's a whole
everything
community.
they make everything in sports.
We
You
don't-
put on
yeah.
ESPN2 on a Sunday, in June, and you see in darts. Like what? This is a sport. Like you know what I mean?
it's
So.
nuts. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, it's different, and it's not just about having programs. It's about having the development, and it's not just the players. You have to have the right coaches developing, and it starts young. You can't, you know what I mean? Like you can't. I think there's like a study. It's after you're like 23 or 25. You stop kind of learning, like when it comes to.
I stopped like at 6 or
Sport.
7 or some shit. Yo, this teacher came up to me with some shit about cutting some paper. I was like, woman,
But yeah, so
So like you have.
you got to put money.
Yeah, you have a business degree.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And you're also a coach, a head coach.
Yeah.
You've done assistant coaching in the States.
Yes.
You've played ball yourself. What do you think it takes for Canada to take it to that next level, to be up to par with the United States?
I mean, other than me
They
playing
need-
with the ball. Help with my dribble.
Just answer the question.
Help with my dribble. God damn it.
Just, he's out of control.
It's and they need an invested interest in developing players from a young age.
All right, so
not
we need
just-
Drake. Is that what you're saying?
Shit, he would help. I
I
mean,
know he would,
Ontario's. You know what? Ontario basketball is on at a different another level
Thank
from
you.
everybody else. It's true.
It is.
Like everybody else has to catch up to them, especially back. We're so hockey gun on hockey.
And we suck
And I
at
think
it.
basketball. Somebody just told me to this morning actually. Like basketball is now the number 2 sport in the world or something.
Number
behind
one is
soccer.
soccer. Of course.
But yeah,
Because-
but soccer's easier to play.
Well, no shit. You don't
Just
need
kick the
anything
ball
to play
around
soccer. Exactly.
and
You need a
kick the
ball
ball.
and will.
You really do
Basketball,
think soccer's an
you
easier
need
sport?
yeah.
You need
Then basketball,
Yeah.
absolutely. Basketball, you need skill. You know how to read. You know your defense, your
They
offense.
read defense in soccer though.
Man, it ain't the same.
All right.
the thing
I
is
mean, like
soccer,
either way,
ain't
I
the
can't
same.
play either one.
Oh
And I
God.
seen the girls play soccer, and I'm like,
Legit.
that
I-
looks
I-
complicated.
Yeah.
Like it, I just see the
I
amount
mean,
of
you ha-
athleticism and
Yeah, you
they're just
gotta be an
running up and down off the
athlete.
small ass ball up and down the court.
Wow.
I'm like,
So the size of the
you've
ball
gotta-
is an
You-
issue
Cardio
again.
it's definitely a lot harder cardio with soccer and stuff like that. But it's just
Yeah.
easier. It costs less. You
basketball
all you
doesn't
need is a
cost
ball.
much
you
either,
don't,
right?
you don't. No, it doesn't.
You
Not
need
as
a
much
net.
as like a
Probably wanna-
football or
Right.
hockey or not even football. Sorry, hockey.
Hockey's
Hockey's the
super
worst.
expensive.
Hockey's the worst, especially
Hockey's
if your
expensive.
if your kid is playing
Yep.
the goalie position. You're
All the
fucked.
stuff they have to buy is
Oh,
ridiculous.
and they grow. Them
And they-
kids grow, so you have to
exactly.
keep it up. You know, and
Basketball,
I-
soccer, you don't need shoes.
you don't need nothing.
You don't need
You can be
nothing.
broke as hell. All you need is a ball.
Yo, I
What do
need
you mean you
shoes
don't
for
need
soccer.
shoes?
Thank
You need
you.
shoes.
As you get higher,
No.
you can't be on TV with no kicks. But I mean, you don't really need
So
shoes.
you
don't
think
need
all the players
shoes.
play barefoot at first?
You
They
can
could. The
barefoot.
best one did.
You know they play barefoot in Trinidad. Stop.
Thank you.
Why do you have to bring up Trinidad? That is so wrong.
'Cause y'all be
I
struggling.
didn't bring up anything about St.
Y'all be
Vincent.
struggling and y'all be
Haiti,
playing
don't
soccer.
start.
That's what we're trying to. That's what we trying to say.
I'm staying nice. You guys don't start.
Y'all so
Don't
good at
you
soccer.
Start.
I mean,
Let me stop.
okay.
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 Everyone take a sip of water and just be
All
cool
right,
on
we-
Trinidad. All right.
We're swift.
Please.
Sipping.
Tanisha,
Yes, ma'am.
how was your experience of coaching basketball in the United States of anxiety?
Wait, right before that,
Tell me.
that's funny. But wait, right before that, can you tell us how it is coaching? Wait, where did you coach first? Where did you coach first? Montreal or USA?
First Montreal. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us how it was when you played in Montreal, and then how it was when you played in USA?
You're just gonna steal my question?
And
Like
no,
that's what I was
I'm
getting
not.
at?
I know.
Alright,
I'm
it's
just
okay.
gonna
It's
improve
fine.
shit.
It's
That's what
fine.
I do. I
We're
make
supposed to
things
be a
better.
team. It's all good. We'll talk about that
I
later.
make things better. That's what I do.
Okay, go ahead.
But yeah, I stopped playing basketball here when I was at Dawson, right? Because
Okay.
I went and I got a scholarship to play in the U.S. So it's different. The competition is definitely harder.
So when you got there, you
like
were
a
just
dime
no
a
good.
dozen. You know what I mean, kind of thing. Would you say?
Shit.
I was all right. So yeah, it's a little bit more fight here. It's a easier. You know what I mean? Because our pool is a lot smaller of talent. In the U.S., it's like everybody. You go anywhere, if there's a court, somebody's on that court. Like guaranteed.
different.
You don't
Everyone's
get that out
working.
here. You know what I mean? Like you don't. That's just not what we do. So, but I
What-
mean, if you have
what
certain
do
things,
we do? God damn it!
play hockey.
No, I haven't.
I don't
want
want to hear hockey again, please.
He's-
And the thing is, we suck at it right now. I don't want to talk about it like ever. What
Yeah,
do
we
we
need
do
to get
here?
away from this hockey thing.
No, but you guys mentioned something that was really interesting. It's the whole like mentality behind sports. For example, I've been to the States for a year. I wasn't doing shit. I mean, I played badminton.
What? Why?
Don't hate me. Don't
Badminton.
don't.
No, I
Alright.
played badminton. I
So,
was good too.
It's
But,
like yeah, it is complicated, and you got
Badminton's fun,
Y'all
man.
hating. All y'all
But
haters. I don't even care. At this
In
point.
elementary.
I was in high school, 7th grade. Anyway, the point of the story is, in the States, there's a whole mentality about like when we're saying about like how can I say it? Being part of like a certain school. For example, if you play basketball and you play for Syracuse, right? Being part, like just going to that school, is different. People have a sentiment of
It's pride. It's like
pride.
Yeah, that's like you're
Here?
repping that
Yeah.
school.
I go to McGill to get my goddamn diploma. So I can be done. In the States, it's a whole. I mean, in the rooms, in their rooms, people like students will have like a banner of their school. We don't have this here. We don't have. I mean, we go to school for our diplomas.
Yeah, but that's like that's the American mentality. Everything
is.
is about patriotic, repping where
Yes.
you're from.
Yeah.
Like
Pride,
you,
like-
you were assistant coach at Harvard. Howard, sorry, which is a black university.
HBCU, baby.
That's it. You're still. You see
The
what I mean?
real HU,
You know what I
baby.
mean? You're still repping it. Like it's
Yes,
it's
that's
it's like
pride
you
right there.
breathe-
And I
It's a
did not
different
open
mentality.
one book going to
Right.
Howard, but
So that's a black university, right?
historically black college
So
university. Yes.
you like how was that like?
That was a completely different experience, and I wish I could actually go back, just because you know what, I grew up watching A Different World, and it was an
that.
HBCU.
You are not telling about your
But
age. Please
I
continue.
did- but I didn't know that, A Different World, like going to Hillman
been
was a
for-
HBCU
Yeah.
until I got older. I don't even think my parents knew that. You know what I mean? But I loved A Different World and everything that they did, and like going and coaching at Howard. You're walking around campus, and you know the movie Drumline. I'm seeing
course.
that happen.
Thank you.
You
That's
walking around the
exactly,
yard,
exactly.
You know what I mean? But you have this pride. We are part of something. Like we have our own thing.
Thank you.
You're not gonna take that. We're not gonna go to the POW, predominantly white.
Yeah, I know what it was.
Yeah, we're not gonna go to. We could do our own. We're not gonna. We have our own thing. He's so serious.
It's so stupid. I don't.
And I wish we had schools like that here.
Thank you. That's
Because
exactly
we
where I wanna
don't.
go.
I know me in high school. I didn't know that. The only little
Yo.
part in our history books you learned about is just black people are slaves from Africa, wild,
Yep.
and we slaves.
And then they found America, made it better,
And that was it.
and that's it. We don't even know exactly. Thank
But
So
like,
do you find that kind of culture transcended onto your students? Like, do you find not your students, your players? Sorry, when you were in the States, like your players, the black. I guess most of your players were black as well.
they were all black. Yeah.
They were all
Amen.
black.
But there were a couple. You'll find like probably like 20 throughout in the entire university, maybe 20. White kids.
people,
Yeah, some
and they
people
were
that got
mostly-
But they
lost.
want to be a part of that, and now and athletes too. Like you'll find because they get scholarships, and education is and Howard is one of the best schools in the U.S. Like Ivy League type.
Dope. Ivy League? On
Educate.
top of
No,
it?
Howard is serious. Yeah,
It's on top.
Howard is serious.
It's in there on top.
Yeah. Google it. Yeah, definitely.
I respect that.
Yeah.
I respect
So
that.
it's so
That's
to
dope.
get a degree from Howard is
That's
huge.
a
I would.
thing.
I mean, at this point, I would feel a whole lot more proud to get a degree from Howard than from Yale
Yeah.
or even Harvard.
Mm.
You know why? Because it's our people there.
Yeah.
Bunch of our people. I feel like I would.
You'd be accomplishing something.
dead ass.
And
Yeah.
the legend, the people that came from Howard University.
Yeah.
Alicia Rashad.
Thank you. And also,
Real people, like
No,
serious.
like Taraji P.
Yeah,
You know,
that's crazy.
Like,
I was
well,
gonna
P
say-
Diddy, he went and got him. He dropped that after year 2, but
He still went.
he
Yeah,
he got
showed
a.
up.
he went there a
He
couple of
showed
days.
up.
But he went there a couple. He did his own thing, and it worked out for him
Thank you.
clearly. But yeah,
So you didn't really. I'm just saying this based on my personal experience living in Canada and Quebec, especially.
Boo.
The kind of discrimination that you would experience here was nothing like that when you were out there, right?
Would you?
If you're living on,
experience-
I don't know if you're living on campus,
you?
but I guess it's an American thing that most kids go out of state for school.
Exactly.
So some of your players, I imagine, were from out of state, so they were living on campus. They were completely like immersed in that culture.
Yeah.
So if everyone around you is black, then you could just be you 100%, right?
Yeah.
Like all the businesses around that campus must have been black owned, and
Yeah, most I won't say all of them because
Okay.
Howard is still in the city, and the campus it was like a real campus feel, like you know what I mean, like you go through the gate to get in there and all that, but you're still in DC, so you go down the street 20 minutes, it's the Washington Monument and it's the
Confederate flags.
like it's some of the guys
why
that they
gotta
have
put
up
it
there is in
Slave
like they
owners.
just put exactly.
So it's the
You know
same
what I
thing,
mean?
different
So
day.
you just gotta learn. I think wherever you're at, you just gotta do your homework, read, learn about yourself, your culture. Educate yourself. Especially when you're here, it's easier when you're at like an HBCU, like a Howard or whatnot, because they teach. That's in their curriculum. They're going to teach you about yourself.
That's crazy.
Whether you know, because we're going to you like your history isn't slavery. Let me tell you where y'all really did come
You
from.
guys came
Oh
from
my
royalty.
God,
Yeah, let me tell you where you came
that.
from.
Yeah, let me
You know what
tell
I
you.
mean? And they don't do that here. And I think
No, we don't.
yeah, and
They
so
don't.
so students that come from that type of environment, that education, you talk differently,
Yeah.
because it's like, no, like I represent like somebody worked to get me here, and so me myself, I got to do this for somebody else. It might not be for me, but the next one coming, you know what I mean? Like it's like that trickle down effect. So they walk differently, you know, head high, shoulders back, chest out. That's how you got to be. Like,
Because
you know
like
what I mean?
people
We don't do that here because we don't know. We don't
don't
know.
And we're not
When you
being
don't know,
told. We're not
when you don't
being
have
told as
representation,
well. We don't
exactly.
have representation. Nobody
You don't
talks
represent.
about
It's
it.
hard to say I
No.
can do something and you don't see it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
All
So
all we talk about here is how Christopher Columbus got lost and
lost
found
my
us.
goddamn ass.
yeah.
That's crazy. I know
Don't even get me started on that.
Yo, you know what? Don't get me
Yeah, no,
started
it's
on
ridiculous.
that.
Like,
Trust.
all that stuff.
When you talk about teaching, being a basketball coach and doing all these things, you talk about like, or maybe not even you, but when I looked at interviews that you've done, when I read articles about you, it's like you're changing the whole face of women's basketball. Like you are this like trendsetter, like coming out and bringing a new flavor to basketball. Like you're no joke. So what is it about
Thank
you?
you very much.
No, I'm not.
Trendsetter. They
Like,
called you a trendsetter.
no, really. It's like when you see Coach T, it's like you never seen somebody like this before. What is it about you that sets you apart from your competition? And if you even think you have competition, because I know you're very confident that you're taking this to the top. What is it about you?
I'm just me. I'm real.
There's a lot of real people around here. There's something different about being real.
Not a lot.
Like,
What is it that you teach your players? What is it about your message, the way you're
but
coached
it's just
that's
the
different
it's
from
just
other people?
it's just the confidence in you, like, you know. And I got that from my head coach at Hofstra University, Felicia Leggett Jack. She coaches at
Shout out.
Buffalo at Buff. She was hard as hell. Anyways, coach. But
That's the
anyway.
way to be.
But there was like a method to. There's a reason why she was like that with us, because she was a black woman, and she knew that you're going to have to work that much harder to prove yourself.
Like my mama did.
No,
That's
but
why
it's
she
true.
beat me most of the time. Because she knew.
You deserve some licks.
The-
Like
My
right
s-
now, you
my
deserve.
Yo,
skin had
you
to
know what I
be
mean?
hard.
Yo, straight lashes.
She knew that skin needs to be
Go
hard because
get
I
the
was gonna
belt.
suffer.
Exactly. Go get
Exactly.
it.
She would tell me to go and choose the belt. It would all be hard.
But as I was saying,
Yeah, your
But
coach,
it's
that was
just
like my
like-
mama. I just hope y'all didn't get beat.
no, she couldn't do that because she would be coaching
My
right
mama
now.
couldn't. She still did.
But just being apologetically you, be yourself. Like, you know what I mean? And but it comes from knowing you and what you have to give. And I'm still young enough that I connect with my players. Like, you know what I mean? We can still do moves with them and all of that.
Okay, she can do
And
the
so
nigga.
we connect on a different level because it's really important to connect with your players and have relationships with them. It's really, really important. And so for me, it's just that's what I'm just me, and it's either you gravitate towards me or you don't. Like, and I'm not gonna change.
That's it.
I'm not changing who I am for anybody. You know what I mean? Yes, everybody has things that they can improve on, and okay, I could be better at this, better at that, a little bit more nicer here and there. But at the end of the day, like at the core of it, I think I'm alright. I think, you know, Topsail and Lennox, which are my parents, shout out, boop boop. I think they did a pretty good job, you know, raising us all. That, you know, I have, you know, I think I'm pretty cool. Like I'm good. I think that's what it is. Like it's me, and I don't care who I'm sitting in front of.
You
I'm
sit
not
true to who you are.
changing who I am.
Never do. Never
And yeah, I think that's the biggest thing. Like, even how I am on social media, like, I'm not afraid to like say certain things. Like, I understand I represent something more than myself. You know, I do sometimes, if I say certain things, like, I'm under that Concordia University umbrella, you know, because I don't own Concordia. and I still have an AD that I would have to answer to if I do. And he's a great AD. Shout out Darcy Ryan. But you know, so there's a time and a place. But at the end of the day, I'm gonna have fun. I know when to, it's business. I know when to relax but I'm always just gonna be myself.
That's what you got.
And I think those are the people that are just stay true to themselves, and you know, those are the people that me personally I gravitate towards too, and young people too. They just want you to be you. Don't switch up on them. Nobody likes that.
So you've never had really any issues with any of your players trying to call you out or put you in check? Because you know
So
that.
call me. They can't push me in check. I never
Okay.
had that.
You've
see
never
the
had that. I
attitude?
mean,
Yo.
they
I definitely have kids that have given attitude
Okay.
or try to talk back.
And how you
and
deal with
ask-
those?
yeah.
How does
They
it
don't
work?
play for me.
Oh,
You can't. No.
okay. So
You
the
can't do
ones that gave you attitudes,
they just don't play for you.
or the ones that don't play.
You're not playing for
different
me
teams
anymore.
Oh wow, that was.
I
quick.
don't deal with that.
You ain't got
If
time
you
for
don't,
that.
no, I don't.
Nah,
You know what I
see
mean? And you know what I give, and I'll give everybody a chance. You know what I mean? Because sometimes you don't know a lot of these players. Just coming from the States, these kids have some stories
yeah, legit.
that will
It's
make you
not-
be
yeah.
like, oh,
Oh,
okay, I
yeah.
get it.
You know, as a coach, I feel like you're like the shepherd, like
Yeah,
a bunch of sheep running around.
kind of. Yeah.
And like, what do you think is most important for a head coach, a figure,
Yeah.
a model to have in terms of aptitude, in terms of qualities, in order to help those youngsters to make sure that they have the direction to head towards to, and how to help them with their issues. What are the qualities?
Compassion. You gotta be understanding. The biggest thing for me was patience. Because I'm not a very patient person, but the biggest thing is patience. These kids are young. You don't know what they come from, what they've been told, you know what I mean? So it's just compassion, understanding, patience, and then again, like you have to want to form real relationships with your players. You know what I mean? If you're just in it just because
It's
I
not
just want to
fake.
win games, it is not going to happen. But
Can't
when
be
you have a
fake there,
connection or
you know?
relationship with your players, they will do any and everything for you.
Coach Carter.
So it starts, but it's true. It starts there.
Do you think
it's
you're gonna?
not the flip
Do you think
line.
you're gonna stay in Montreal? Or you're gonna go back to the States?
I mean,
eventually?
baby, I'm here. I'm here right now. You know.
Yeah,
That's
I
can
talking
confirm
it.
now.
She's
Can't say
right.
what's going
Yeah,
on.
Yeah.
I'm here.
But you're itching to go back. Look,
I wouldn't
there's
say
a
that I'm
look in your
itching
eye.
because Trump is there, so I don't know about itching to go back to
Yeah, you
Trump.
might be back
Yeah.
real quick.
We'll see if our people go out and vote. But
All right,
And
quick, like, oh, please,
Go ahead.
Auntie Day. I won't do
Claudel
that to you.
first.
You know,
Go
yeah,
ahead.
yeah. You're right. You damn right, Claudel first. So as I was saying,
Yes.
what would be the main differences between coaching here in Montreal versus coaching? Was that your question?
Salary. It was. It's like we're
Why you
connected.
keep on talking about money, man? Stop talking about money.
she's right,
Well,
though.
everything.
Salary
Are you
is
about to say
different.
yes? That's the main difference. I mean, no, there has to be a difference
There's
in
different.
the
Yeah, it
way
depends
you
where you are.
coach the kids. I mean,
No,
us
basketball at
kids,
the end of the day is the same everywhere. Like
They-
basketball's basketball.
everyone has to shoot
How
the
you
same
teach
hoop.
it. Well, yeah.
Oh,
I
that
mean, the
makes
hoop
sense.
is the hoop is.
He's,
So the
looking,
main-
he's looking for private lessons. You gotta go watch out
I
for
need-
him.
I
need
told you,
help with that
first session
dribble.
is free. C'est
First,
gratuit.
you better make the
Première
first
session
10.
gratuite. T'en as
Les
besoin
10
de.
premières, ma belle.
Non, ok, mais non. Plusieurs.
Yo,
T'en as
écoute,
besoin de plusieurs,
look
mon
at them
gars.
hands. Look at them hands.
Mon gars.
I got the next claw. What's up with you? And you here like spitting on this?
Première session gratuite. Oh.
Les 10 premières, on t'a dit. I need help.
T'en as besoin de 9 autres.
Wow. I ain't gonna pay. I know I need help. I ain't gonna pay for my help.
I'm dead.
I
I'm
don't-
dead.
What is wrong with you? But yeah, so
the difference. Teach
Talent.
top 3.
wait, what?
differences.
Talent?
Talent. Pool of
Boucher,
talent, yeah.
Chris Boucher,
Um,
Lugens d'Or.
you keep naming
Man, it's
NBA
not the
players
same.
that
They done
did.
made it. They from
that-
here.
no.
These are my people.
Okay.
They're not. They don't know me. Yeah, guys, my bad. I mean, I know about y'all, but keep it up.
They
Represent.
did not really develop here. They developed
Explain
in the States.
developing.
I mean, it's just, developing is more than just, okay, you're an athlete, run up and down and go dunk, or run up and catch this ball. It's developing, their skill set, teaching them, understanding the game, offensively, defensively. Like it's just different. You know what I mean?
How is it? Why? We're playing the same
Because
game.
we don't have the coaching. There's no investment in the coaches.
We got
a lot of
you.
the I'm one person.
God damn it.
And I coach the Concordia University women's basketball. We play August 13th at
Come out
6
and
p.m.
support.
Drury University D2 school.
Tickets are
Come
$10.
out and support them. It's free, actually.
Oh,
Yeah,
I went
yes.
online
Support
and
us,
the tickets
guys.
were $10.
No, that's I think the men's is that men? No.
I
You're
checked.
talking about regular season. Yes, regular
Yeah.
season it is $10. But if you hit me up, I might get you in.
I get a discount.
I might can get you in. But yes, that's what we do. Season starts in November 9th is our season opener, conference opener. We're trying to run it back. We went to the conference championship Last season, we
with
fell
you
short.
as a head coach.
With me as a head coach, we went to national championship and the first black female to bring
Hello.
her
High
basketball
five
team
right there.
Hey, hey,
Boom.
hey.
That
to
just
the
happened.
nationals.
That's
So,
us.
and I didn't know that, so I'm actually pretty proud
I
of
didn't
that.
even know.
So now we're trying to be the first to win a national.
Yeah,
So.
fuck yeah,
Is it
you
still
know.
like that all like most women in basketball are lesbians, or that's changed now?
Wait, what? Wait, y'all got numbers about
I
that?
just really want to know.
I don't-
Wait,
I
where do you get your facts? You know what? Answer, please.
Well, are you?
Because
are
I'm about to
you're
watch a
not
whole
lesbian.
lot of games.
You're
I
not
don't know
lesbian.
everybody's.
Are you? Oh,
Am
did
I a
offend you?
lesbian? Wow. I don't know everybody's sexual preference.
Okay, but I
in
know you know.
basketball.
Like at least for your
There's
players,
a,
you would
I
know.
mean, there's a, yeah, my players, I know. I ask, but I'm one of them coaches like, who you talking to?
Okay, there you go.
Are they rebounding for you? What is you doing? Like,
Okay.
that's how I am. So,
So are most of your players lesbians or what?
no.
Okay.
Damn, you want that?
I'm
You
just
want-
asking.
so you want me?
It's a.
I'm not about to put my girls out like that. Like, yeah, she thinking.
Well, if she's a lesbian, if she's a lesbian, that's her business.
her
That's not a
business.
bad thing.
And
I
I
just
don't-
want to know.
I
There's
mean,
been
she's
a
still playing with balls.
there's
I
been
don't
a
care.
stereotype women's
But it's a
basketball.
it is
That's
a
why I'm
stereotype.
asking.
I didn't even
You
think
shoot me
about
for
that.
asking.
The only thing I was thinking about when women are playing basketball is being hit on the post. That would hurt my
What?
feelings to a point
What?
so hard.
Before
like,
we go, I have
getting
one last
dunked
question.
on.
In an interview that you did,
And I'm still not getting help.
What
with
interview did I
dribble.
do?
you don't even know. You describe LeBron James as your favorite protein.
Oh
but
my God! Can we talk about this?
What
kidding
interview
me?
was that? Is somebody talking?
No, I'm telling
Somebody
you
make some
apparently.
shit up.
You are on-
apparently.
Nah.
you are on
Yeah.
YouTube. You are on YouTube. You're on all kind of stuff.
Oh, is when I got hired.
now
The
you
first time I got
remember.
hired.
But I heard you're a vegan. So what protein you
Wait,
having
what?
now?
My protein or protein? What's going on?
I'm also confused. I heard LeBron.
LeBron
James
is my protein
and
or my protein?
and proteins. Are you vegan?
Yeah, I tried, but you know, the
I heard.
la fromage, là, j'aime la fromage. I try. I'm trying.
That's good. At least you tried. I didn't even
I
think
don't
about
eat
it.
meat unless
yo.
it's oxtail on Sunday.
I can't even hate you for that. Yo, you eat that tail. Oh, God,
What?
that came out so wrong.
Make sure they put that lima beans in there. You know what I mean? Yeah, rice and thing.
There they go talking languages I don't understand.
Okay.
Okay, so
But yeah. What was that?
Don't worry about it.
we'll talk about it later.
Don't worry about it. Wait, we're gonna talk.
We'll talk about it later, yeah.
I'm pretty sure our audience would have
talk
loved to be
about
part
it
of that
later.
conversation.
Tanisha, we might have to have you back because we
What-
had a whole bunch of questions we didn't even get
Yo,
into.
You have no idea.
Oh, yeah?
Kodell
about, like-
talks too much. We couldn't
Wait,
get
that
into
is
it.
a lie. I asked
Nah,
the
he
best
was great,
questions.
he
Can
was
we
great.
agree
You
on
guys
the
were
fact that
both great.
like
You do
what
ask
kind
good
of meat
questions.
makes you jump?
Yeah.
I asked the best questions ever. I mean, I know about some meat that makes you bounce. All right, can we please not let me talk that much?
You have verbal diarrhea.
Thank
Verbal
you.
diarrhea.
Thank you. Is that a disease?
Wow.
It is.
This is not, please don't tag Concordia University.
All right. No, we won't. Okay, so the next game is August 13th.
August 13th.
August 13th
It's
is
free.
our
Is it free?
exhibition
'Cause I've been
games.
telling
It's
people
free.
it's free.
Jur-
So we
jury,
should all show
My
up.
people gonna be-
NCAA Division II teams coming down to play us.
That's
It should be
crazy.
good
That's
So we should go.
competition.
We need
All right,
to
well,
go.
We're kind of running out of time,
Yeah, come on.
but I have one last tiny bitty questions
Yes.
right before you go, and it's gonna be a serious questions because I got those too
Okay.
Good for
at
you.
times.
Good.
Yeah, you one day gave me that question. I was wondering, what is it that makes you, well, not specifically you, but in order to be a head coach of a team, of whatever team, whether it's soccer, badminton,
So pathetic. Go ahead.
basketball, or whatever, what are the things people need in order to be able to thrive as much as you did? I mean, being able to play in the U.S., being able to play here in Montreal at Concordia. I couldn't even go there to go to school, and you did to
I
play
didn't-
basketball.
I didn't play
know,
in
but you
Concordia.
still coached. I never went there in order to, I mean, unless it's
He's
to
a
take the
mess.
metro.
It's okay.
Back then,
Back then.
times were tough.
I coach
So
at Concordia. Yes.
What are the things you could tell our people on, like, what you need?
Top 3 things. Top
Three.
3.
What do you need to be a coach?
I
Go.
mean, a servant leader, not just a leader.
Woo,
Okay.
love it.
Um,
You said words and stuff.
you have to be willing to constantly evolve, educate yourself. And a third thing, just, I think, compassion. Like, seriously, because you're just dealing with people
People.
and young people
It's like
that.
customer service.
Yeah, trust me. It's some people think they just see me in the games and with my heels and whatever, and I'm just coaching, and that's it. But it's
Wait, you
just so
coaching
much more.
heels? Oh my God,
She's
we
no
gonna need
joke.
another episode.
I seen her at it.
No, but for
She
real,
don't
you
play.
coaching heels?
Yeah.
Huh?
Yep.
I would.
That's the only day I get
Oh,
to dress
mean,
up,
guys,
so I got
yeah,
to.
that makes sense. I mean, guys are wearing suits all the time.
Oh yeah. I try to be
No, she looks swanky all the time.
I have no
Try to
doubt.
do it.
We need to go to that game August 13th.
I have no
Yeah.
doubt. Of course. And someone's gonna help me with my goddamn dribble.
Yeah.
But you know what? One of the advices you could have given me in order to improve my dribble is to, brother, dribble day
And night and
Hey.
day and
Hey.
night
and day and night.
and you better charge him for that
God
practice.
damn it, guys.
I told you.
I ain't paying for
Bunny has
shit.
nuts.
That's a wrap.